The last few hours on the planet Earth have been nothing short of a financial horror show. If you are a business owner, congrats, you just lost a few billion. If you are an investor, your portfolio is so red that it might qualify as a crime scene. And if you're into crypto, you're probably curled up in a ball, whispering sweat nothing to your cold wallet. Everything is red. The global markets have plunged into a meltdown mode on Monday after Donald Trump tossed economic diplomacy out of the window and slapped the world with blockbuster-sized tariffs. The Wall Street flinched, Asia fainted, and Trump, well, he grinned and declared that the other nations better pay a lot of money or face tariffs that make 50% look like a clearance sale. Asia just took a hit, like a champ. If by champ you mean Japan and Taiwan hitting circuit breakers for the first time since COVID crash of 2020. China meanwhile panicked into action, scrambling to draft an emergency economic rescue plan overnight. What happens next? Well, no one knows. But you might want to hold on to your cash and your sanity because the 47th is not backing down. After the global disaster on Monday, Donald Trump took to Truth Social to pat himself on the back so hard that it probably sent tremors through Wall Street, declaring an economic victory. He declared that America is now bringing in billions, while China's market is spiraling like a budget airline mid-flight. Oil down, food cheaper, inflation? What inflation? He posted triumphantly, ignoring the economist sweating bullets on cable news. Of course, he couldn't resist going after his favorite economic nemesis. China, the biggest abuser of them all, he wrote, is apparently spiraling after daring to raise tariff by 34%, despite his stern presidential don't do it energy. Beijing didn't listen, and now Trump claims that they are getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, make no mistake viewers, Trump here wants to secure economic dominance and preserve the dollar's supremacy. But his move, if it fails, could prove even more damaging than Biden's grand and equally controversial strategies. This isn't about tariffs anymore. This is about how the US uses its economic might, sometimes recklessly. In a geopolitical plot twist that is straight out of some political thriller, China, Japan and South Korea, the three arch rivals, are now coming together. And they have decided that they have had enough of playing America's economic punch bag. In what Tokyo is desperately downplaying as a casual chat, the trio has signaled a unified front against the American tariffs, subtly flipping the bird to Washington's economic strong-arming. Trump tariffs, wrapped in the red, white and blue of America First, seem to be backfiring spectacularly. Instead of securing dominance, they are speeding up the global de-dollarization. The Mar-a-Lago Agreement, as some call Trump's tariff doctrine, isn't about trade. It's about using the dollar like a sledgehammer to reshape the global economy. And spoiler alert, it is not working. Asian nations are quite skeptical of Donald Trump's approach, and Tokyo has just come out in open regarding this. Yes, China's markets are wobbling, but here's the real story. There is a shift towards regionalism. On 30th of March, the three Asian giants held their first economic meeting in 5 years, aiming to strengthen the trade through a trilateral FTA and RCEP. Well, if you translate it, this is like building their own sandbox and leaving Uncle Sam out of it. Meanwhile, Washington continues to wield the dollar like a financial warhead. Ever since ditching the gold standard of 1971, the US has run wild with debt, outsourcing inflation while importing around world's good in return of digital paper. As of 2024, around 60% of the global reserve are still dollar-based, but the cracks are widening. From BRICS to East Asia, the consensus is growing. The dollar's reign must be challenged. And ironically, Trump, with his tariff crusade, is accelerating this shift. Basically what Biden left after the war, now Trump is continuing that. Apple, Amazon and big tech are taking hits. And so now it is easy to guess how long before they turn on the very man they once backed. In trying to weaponize the trade, America might be writing the first chapter of its own economic come down. In Biden's era, it was war and sanctions. In Trump's era, it is tariffs. An economic gamble teetering on the edge of disaster. Yes, China is getting isolated. Yes, make America great again. But not by alienating allies and tanking the global stability just for your benefit, your personal benefits. This isn't strength. This is strategic self-sabotage. Donald Trump, here is a piece of advice for you. The world doesn't need another reason to unite against you. Wake up and stop playing the game that empowers the very deep state you claim to fight.